It's time for the KQEG-TV High School Game of the Week. Now, the Tomah Timberwolves open their conference season against the West Salem Panthers. The KQEG-TV High School Game of the Week is made possible by our sponsors, like Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is their business on Southwest 2nd Avenue in Onalaska. Schumacher Kish Cremation and Funeral Services in La Crosse, La Crescent, and Onalaska. Boyer's Furniture, quality furniture at affordable prices on South Avenue, La Crosse. American Family Insurance and your agent in West Salem, Jim Quinn. Union State Bank of West Salem, where customers and community come first. University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, surround yourself with distinction. Surround yourself with UWL. Hunter's Last Chance Bar and Grill on Leonard Street in historic downtown West Salem. Allied Cooperative in Tomah, West Salem, and Arcadia. Big Boar Barbecue. For the best barbecue, make it Big Boar Barbecue. Highway 16 West Salem and at George and Gillette Street. And Deer Creek Dental on Superior Avenue in Tomah. Now let's go down to the field and KQEG's Carl Greenfield and Terry Erickson. It's time.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to the KQEG-TV High School Game of the Week. I'm Carl Greenfield, joined alongside by Terry Erickson and Ryan Scaife on our camera tonight. And we present to you the opening of the MVC conference schedule between the Tomah Timberwolves and the home, so to speak, West Salem Panthers here at Swanson Field at Logan High School.
Well, for those that have never been up to West Salem in the last few months, to see the incredible improvements on that campus, building improvements, new building, fields, and so on, you're missing something. Home away from home is right, but it won't be long. In fact, when Aquinas and Tomah in West Salem play, they will be unveiling their new field, and so
it'll be an exciting night for them.
It will be.
They played a whole season last year here at Swanson Field, a home away from home, and so it'll be very nice to have a true home field for the first time since 2016.
Yeah, and exactly. And despite the fact that they don't have a home field, they continue to be a tremendous high school football team. Wayne Sackett, all the success he had, now Justin Yang, similar success.
So the Tomah Timberwolves come into tonight's game 1-1. They lost their opener against Mauston, and they're coming off a 50-8 domination of Black River Falls last week, Thursday night, at home.
Just think, years ago, Black River was one of the top teams in the tier of the better teams in the Coulee, and the last couple of years, they've fallen off the wagon.
They're in a bit of a rebuild mode right now, are the Tigers of Black River Falls. And the West Salem Panthers come into tonight's game 2-0, coming off a 14-6 gutted out game at GET. So GET, always a tough program, usually near the tops of the Coulee Conference. So a good win for West Salem to kind of springboard them into the MVC season.
Oh, absolutely. An emotional win. Brendan Holt scoring as the clock runs out, and we'll talk about how much he means to this West Salem program. 2 games on the road. Arcadia, always a good team. GET, a highly emotional game, a rivalry from the old Coulee Conference days. A big win for West Salem.
Yeah, the West Salem Panthers were near the top of the MVC last year. Did they tie for the conference title last year? I believe they were very close.
They did, and they went to the playoffs again like they have done for decades.
So the Timberwolves now of Tomah come into tonight's game 1-1. Terry, what are your thoughts about Tomah, and what can they do in tonight's game to stick with them?
I think, first of all, Tomah's really trying to rebuild. I think they're a year or two away. They scored a lot of, they can put points on the board. You referenced 50 points last week, although they have some injuries, and that really is, I think, going to affect the outcome of this game. Burkhart out with an injury. Another couple guys that are banged up. Boone Matheson out, won't play, and so they're having to go with their younger lineup, and so we're going to see them simplify their playbook a little bit and hope that those younger players will step up in their MVC opening game.
And now for the West Salem Panthers, coming off of the emotional victory last week, obviously a big momentum swing coming into the MVC season. What kind of things is West Salem looking to do tonight to take over this game?
They don't want to be one-dimensional. That's been the issue. They're running the ball basically. For example, last week they basically were just simply one-dimensional. Very few yards on passing. All of their yards basically on the ground. 165 yards during the season passing, but 370 on the ground. So they really need to be a little less predictable.
And we referenced Brendan Holt earlier in the opener here, and Brendan Holt obviously carrying the ball and carrying the load for that offense.
2 TDs last week, 200 yards. He has a 1 TD. Certainly the focal point. A key offensively will be Brendan Holt along with Trenton Foreman. No question about it.
Well, the teams have warmed up. The cheerleaders are ready out in the corner there, ready to greet the team back out of the locker room for West Salem. And it should be a fun one tonight. It's a beautiful night. It's a little breezy. We're overcast, but it's clear. We're not raining.
It's a perfect night on a beautiful field. Keys to the game. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, I think with Tomah, they need to be physical. Their offensive line improved last week, did not play well against Mauston. So they need to be physical. Last night in a huge game, an emotional game at Roger Herring Field, of course, we talked about the skilled players on the perimeter, but really it was one on the offensive and defensive line. I think that will be a key factor. And we talked about Brendan Holt, number 44. That will be a key factor that Tomah needs to stop. West Salem, they need to stop the passing game because we talk about Brendan Holt being effective. Well, Justin Gerke, only a sophomore, 170 yards last week in the air. He is a key factor. And the importance of passing, getting certainly some balance. This will be a good game. So it's polar opposite. The passing game that's been displayed for Tomah Timberwolves, the running game for the West Salem Panthers.
So it'll be interesting to see who's able to knock each other out of their comfort zone and able to shut down the one dimension of their offense. Well, it should be a fun one tonight. We've got a couple minutes before we have our national anthem and our opening kickoff. We will return. You are watching high school football on KQEG TV and KQEGTV.com.
No matter where you are, it's easy to find Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating, La Crosse.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Here you are.
Right now, get over $1,700 in rebates and utility credits with your new Carrier Infinity Heating and Cooling System.
Call or visit us online to ask more about our Gold Star maintenance program.
Schneider Heating, West Salem.
Schneider Heating around West Salem. Here you go.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
No matter where.
There's no place like La Crosse, Wisconsin, with the river and the bluffs.
Academic success, athletic success, all of our programs are doing really well right now.
Coming out here and playing my first conference game, I had a bunch of goosebumps, I had chills, I was excited, I was nervous. I felt every emotion that, you can feel.
College, when you think of what that experience is and the growth as a person and as a student and as an athlete, there's no place like UW-La Crosse.
Not every game's a winner, but if you want to turn that frown into a smile, stop by Hunter's Last Chance Bar and Grill in West Salem for delicious post-game food. Their homemade 16-inch unlimited topping pizza for just $12 will put a smile on everyone's face. Stop in on Taco Tuesday or Wednesday for $2 burgers. Open every day at 11 a.m. with great lunch specials. For 40 years, Hunter's has had a rich tradition of serving the families of West Salem with great food at reasonable prices. Hunter's Last Chance Bar and Grill, Leonard Street and downtown West. Not
Welcome back, everybody. Carl Greenfield alongside Terry Erickson for the KQEG TV High School Game of the Week. And we're just about set for kickoff here. The Timberwolves won the toss and deferred to the second half, so West Salem will receive to start the game.
We got a crew out of the Prairie du Chien area working this MVC game. Jeff Peschel, I know that crew a little bit, so interested to see how they do. We had a lot of penalties last night at Roger Herring Field, too many penalties. Some of them were like, I don't know about that. Let's hope that that does not occur here tonight.
Big return guy here.
Deep to receive for the West Salem Panthers, number 52, Ethan Olson. And number 22, Brandon Luke, the kicker, a sophomore for the Tomah Timberwolves.
Justin Yang, the head coach for West Salem, about to receive the ball. Also the offensive coordinator for the Panthers.
Luke up to kick, a short kick, fielded and immediately dropped upon.
Not sure if he meant to kick it there.
No, I don't think so. That was fielded by number 80, Mason Gerke, who immediately just covered the ball.
And Mason Gerke's Carl's thinking, what am I doing here, kicking the ball to me?
Yeah, I'm the front line. I don't want it.
So he followed the coach's advice.
Grab it and
knowing
fall on
that
it.
Fall on the ball. You were, like, I'm sure in practice they're saying, now remember, you guys in the front line, you are not running backs. Your job is just to catch the ball and protect it. Well, we'll see what the West Salem Panthers do with their spread zone read offense.
3 receivers for West Salem. Fakes the handoff, goes to throw, a short throw, and incomplete, intended for number 24, Joe Hess.
Just out of the pistol offense, which West Salem likes to do. So many teams go pistol, including the Central Red upset last night by the Holman Vikings. Seth Eckel, a senior, putting some pressure on.
Wopat in the gun again.
And the guy that was featured in the paper, an eye on him all conference, really the
and Wopat had nowhere to go. And he gets tackled for a loss of a couple series.
And right away we have a penalty, and there's discussion. So does that mean certainty, or let's come on, let's make a decision here. What do we got? Oh, on the return team.
Oh, that's a gift.
Oh, I took my eyes off the kicker. I didn't. We're just into the game, Carl, and we got
wrinkle.
2 yellow flags already.
And so now a 1st and 10. It looks like it's going to be.
Maybe there is only one.
I think they have the roughing the kicker.
Okay, but I thought he indicated 2 penalties, but I guess not. Let's not confuse broadcasters, referees, right?
Yeah, right.
So
a big gift over to the 41-yard line now. West Salem back in business.
I'm ready to, on my spotting sheet, to put Tomah on offense, and here we come back again with the Panthers as they cross into Timberwolves territory.
Holt, the man to his left, shifts to his left, to his right now his left. Man in motion, hands Holt. He's met up the middle, got a couple of yards on that one for Brendan Holt.
Well, he's the workhorse. Jake Carmichael, a defensive end, number 50, making a nice block. Again, that offensive line, Dylan Knoll. and Ethan Olson, right guard, certainly one of the better in terms of grading out as blocker, glassmaker, Schlimson, and Connor Stranus, the 2 tackles for the Panthers.
Hand off to Holt, off to the left side, off left tackle, and he gains about 4, it looks like. Maybe 3. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5 now.
Read option again, which is their favorite play. Linebacker Connor Perry, number 47, makes the hit.
Perry, a junior, 6 foot, 195-pound linebacker.
Randy Newman, the defensive coordinator for the Timberwolves, been coaching 20 years, and this is his 12th season as the defensive coordinator. You'll see a 4-4 base by the Timberwolves defense. 8 seniors in that starting lineup.
3rd and 6 now, back to throw. A bubble screen, and no one there to help him out. And the reception for Austin Severe going to be short, and they're going to bring up 4th down here, and it looks like they're going to set up for the punt with Derek Roberts.
You see that all the time, Carl, when you see a team go into 3-by-1 or any kind of spread, you'll see that bubble screen. Central does it very, very well, although last night the Holman Vikings really shut that down.
High snap, a little bit deep. No rush on that one, and the punt is fielded by Hernandez at the 10-yard line and ripped out of bounds. An ill-advised decision to grab that one, as he very well could have muffed that one. On their own 9-yard line now, Tomah will take over for what really will be their first offensive series.
The rule that's used at any level is your return player is at the 10-yard line. Anything over his head, you let it go.
And you just hope that it rolls into the end zone.
See what Justin Gerke, the sophomore quarterback, does as the Timberwolves.
Gerke, as you mentioned, had a successful last week in their dominant win over Black River Falls. Back to pass his man and met him. And Mason hangs on to that one. Yeah, that's showing off the hands right there as he took the hit immediately.
Yeah, 71 yards and 2 TDs last week, and he's a big target at 6'5". You'll see him, Damian Hernandez, Cade Genevico, Olin Dick, and Spears, along with Nolan Young, part of that offense.
It was a 9-yard gain on that one. I think they're just checking the measurement, and they're about a yard short. 2nd and 1. Gerke under center, goes back to throw. Bubble screen to the left, caught, and it looks like it's going to be enough for a first down for Cade Genevico. And it'll be first down and 10 from the 18-yard line.
Cade Genevico, the 5'9" sophomore, trying to get some running room behind big number 88, Damian Hernandez, and did, I think, get the first down. So the first down for Tomah.
It was a 7-yard gain for Genevico. Brings up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Mason Gerke shifts to the left side of the line at tight end. And a handoff goes off the left side and met immediately by a whole bunch of black shirts.
Well
Number
done.
28,
yeah.
Dawson Hollendick.
Yeah, Brandon Lund, a linebacker, the first guy to meet him, along with 6 other black jerseys. That 3-4 defense of the Panthers. Connor Stranus, Joe Hess, still in Knoll, all conference. The 3 linemen, linebackers, Glassmaker, Olson, Roberts, and Brandon Lund.
A very generous half yard that they gave him on that one brings up 2nd and 9. Gerke takes a snap, back to pass, off to the left side, and a little bit off target for Genevico and falls incomplete.
Yeah, threw it really outside. To continue that West Salem defense, one of the concerns in talking to Justin Yang was his defensive backs, Aaron Barr, Trenton Foreman, Caleb Young and Dalton Shawms in that cover 4 defense.
Now in the shotgun is Gerke. 3 receivers out. Handoff goes to Dawson Olendick again. Tried the draw play on 3rd and 10, and nowhere to go for Olendick, at least as far as a first down is concerned. He'll bring up 4th and 7, and Tomah will be forced to punt.
Ran into the nose tackle, Joe Hess, number 24, making a good hit. Joe Hess, 11 tackles last week, and really handles that A-gap well for Bob Gorniak's Panther defense.
Trent Foreman back to receive the punt. And a little bit of a shuffle and rugby kick.
Yeah, so many teams do that now. Even Johnny Davis for Central, a lot of rugby style, just getting away from the rush, but also trying to get that good bounce.
Yes. That was Evan Westfall, number 20, doing the punting. And West Salem's going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line. 5:41 to go in our first quarter. Still no score.
See what the Panthers can do on their second possession. Again, they run the zone read and run it very well. Did last week against GET.
And a handoff goes off to the right, and we got a penalty flag flying in. So we'll see what the call is on this one. Brennan Holt had carried it. See if there's kind of legal procedure penalty against West Salem. Going to knock him back 5 yards.
David Latos brings in a play. We'll see what the Panthers do.
Now 1st and 15. Coming from the 43-yard or 33-yard line, excuse me.
That Tomah defense again, the front 4, Herricks, Burkhart, Carlson, and Carmichael. Linebackers, Genevico, Gomez, Young, and Connor Perry. And defensive backs, all young players. Bernhardt, McClug, and Damian Hernandez.
1st and 15. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Hands off to Holt. He's got some room to run. He's got a blocker in front of him. He's got a lot of room, and he leapfrogs a man and carries his tackler out of bounds, and a big gain, and we got a penalty flag after the play.
Yeah,
two of them come raining in.
We got 2 guys that went at it, but, you know, that's where I differ in my philosophy from many officials. Instead of just throwing that flag, why not step in and say, fellas, behave yourself?
Especially early in the game, you know, set the tone with, all right, that's your warning, you know, let's move on.
I don't quite
keep it to yourselves.
I don't quite follow that approach. I saw it week 1 too in a game we covered, Aquinas' opening game, and then went over Pacelli. And I just, I know it's a difference in philosophy, but a couple guys are going at it. Why throw all the flags? Just diffuse it and tell them don't spoil the game.
And as they're sorting this out, a 24-yard gain for Brendan Holt. We'll see what the end result is as far as net yardage is concerned.
Carl, the issue is both flags come in, but you really saw the last part of it.
Right.
So, I mean, you had to have 2 guys going, so how do you know who initiated it? It's just foolishness.
And an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty does go against the Timberwolves, and that's a big blow after the 24-yard gain. Another 15 tacked onto that one. Going to bring it all the way down to the 28-yard line, where West Salem will be threatening getting close to the red zone.
Not to belabor the point, but why not just diffuse and then you send a message that we will not tolerate that. I mean, right?
Exactly. So they got it from must have been from the spot of the foul. Oh, we're down to the 27. There we go. Handoff goes Holtz. He's off to his left side. He's met in the backfield and torn down by a couple of Timberwolves.
Boy, I'll tell you, you're
going to lose a couple yards on that play.
Yeah, when you run laterally, the defense needs to keep shoulders square, get an angle, and close. Connor Perry, number 47, did just that. 2 big penalties by the Timberwolves early in this game, Carl. Both severe 15-yarders. One of them roughing the kicker and the other unsportsmanlike.
Handoff goes to Holt. Going to gain a few yards on this one.
Holt again running behind number 55, John Glassmaker, the all-conference returner, the senior.
Gain of 4 on the play. Going to bring up 3rd and 6 for West Salem. 4:08 remains in our first quarter.
Dalton Shams brings in the play. We'll see what the Panthers dial up on 3rd and 6.
Snap to Wopat, goes back, fires to his right and well off target. A little miscommunication there. Either a wrong route or Wopat was expecting a different route.
Yeah.
And now 4th and 6.
A little pressure by number 79, too. Number 79, Hayden Larson, 6'3", getting his hands up in the air.
4th and 6 now. West Salem going to go for it. Right in 4-down territory here. Snap to Wopat. Screen pass, and it is incomplete, intended for number 24, Joe Hess. And that's going to turn it over on downs. And while they do that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. You're watching high school football on KQEG TV and KQEGTV.com.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Big Boar Barbecue is up and running on the north side of La Crosse. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer at Big Boar Barbecue. Yes, the food truck is open at George and Gillette Street to make it easier for you north siders to find out why La Crosse County has voted us 4 years in a row as the best barbecue and best caterer in La Crosse County. Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, and now open at George and Gillette Street. A delicious mouthful.
At Tri-State Business Machines, our job is to keep you moving forward. We know your business depends on the reliability of your equipment. That's why we're here, to provide you with the industry's highest rated machines and the know-how to keep them running at peak efficiency. We understand the importance of quality sales, service, and support. We've been doing it for over 60 years. To learn more about what we can do for you, visit tsbm.com. Tri-State Business Machines. Move forward with us.
First guy to meet him, Carl, number 28, Dawson Oldendick.
3-yard loss for Oldendick. It'll be 3rd and 13.
That was Brandon Lunn on the tackle on Oldendick. And 3rd and 13 now. 2:46 remaining in our first quarter. So far, it's been a game of field position. Neither team able to get a whole lot going offensively. Gerke takes a snap, blitz off the left side, and he swings it to Oldendick, who got a piece of a block, and he's going to be a couple yards shy of the first down, probably about 5 yards short.
And just really lucky to get it off because Joe Hess, number 24, the nose tackle, just blasted through using his quickness. Lucky to get it off, 4th down.
27-yard line, gain of 7 on that screen, but still well short of the first down. 4th and 7 here in Tomah.
7-yard gain from that pass for Gerke. Evan Westfall back to punt it away for Tomah. And another rugby-style kick. This one high and end over end, and it's going to be fair caught at the 47-yard line by Trenton Foreman, the return man, number 21.
Trenton Foreman, a two-way starter, a senior, the guy that with great hands that you want returning punts.
We do have a penalty flag way back at the 21-yard line. We'll see what the call's about. And we got a holding against Tomah. That's going to be declined. And West Salem will take over at the 47-yard line.
I hope this is not an indication of penalties we're going to see throughout this game.
I certainly hope not.
Because 3 of them have been called by the White Hat. And maybe they're justifiable. Who knows? Trying to explain it to Brad Pfluger.
I think they've been largely justifiable, although that, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, like we talked about, and like you said, not to belabor the point, but I guess I'm going to do it now, that, like we said, you just diffuse the situation rather than calling the penalty by addressing the person straight up.
Yeah, absolutely.
47-yard line, 1st and 10, 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first quarter. Wopat back to pass. He surveys and he tucks it and runs, and he's going to gain about 5 yards on that carry.
Did a good job.
Good run by Wopat.
Yeah, did a good job of not throwing it up and made something out of nothing. Seth Carlson, number 61 on the tackle. This whole quarter, Carl, the West Salem has had great field position, have not been able to take advantage of it.
2nd and 6 now after the Wopat carry. 49-yard line of the Timberwolves. Wopat takes the handoff, gives to Holt. Big running back trying to get a corner, and he hurdles a man, and he's going to gain a yard. Possibly 2.
A tough yard, actually. Good defense again. The Timberwolves are playing well defensively. That time, Ethan McClurg, a defensive back, a sophomore, comes up and makes the tackle.
And that's really the best way to defend the read option, is to stay in your lanes and string out anything to the outside and don't let a man get a corner.
And read your keys.
Absolutely. So now 3rd and 4 will be the play for West Salem. 47-yard line of Tomah. Man in motion coming across. Jet sweep, fake. And Wopat's got some room to run. Oh, and he's tripped up. Otherwise, he had a lot of green in front of him, Terry.
That's that zone read. Just to fake the jet sweep and run right behind your left guard, Glassmaker, and your centered Dylan Knoll, and get a big first down.
And Dalton Shams really sold the fake very well on that run and got a couple of men to bite.
Johnny Davis does that well as Deckant for Holman ran really well last night.
Wopat takes the snap and immediately fires to his left, makes the catch, and nowhere to go for Trenton Foreman after the catch.
Just a quick 3-step drop, and Wopat is going to throw the ball. He's not a deep thrower, Carl, so he's going to be throwing some quick releases, quick passes, and I'm sure Tomah is aware of that. Whenever you see that, too, a lot of teams will run press defense against that kind of style of a passing game.
21 seconds to go. The clock waning in the first quarter. Fakes the handoff. Actually gives the handoff to Holt, and he's into the end zone for a West Salem Panther touchdown.
When Holt gets to the second level, Carl, he is gone. Again, last week, 2 touchdowns, 192 yards, and 262 yards on the season. Not surprised at all. Good blocking up front.
West Salem takes a 6-0 lead And see, it looks like they're going to keep the offense on. No PAT going on. Going to go for 2.
Roberts is coming on here, so they're going to go.
Oh, maybe not. Looks like Therick Roberts entering the lineup.
Roberts, who's been kicking off, will come in here. And they will attempt 1 here. Wolfhat will be the holder.
They're
No, they are going to go for 2.
Yeah, well, actually, because
Roberts is a running back here.
Yeah.
So out of the shotgun here, they will go for 2.
And he hands to Roberts. Roberts has nowhere to go.
Ooh, that's a strange call.
On that run, so 2-point conversion, no good.
Because they do have a good kicker in Glassmaker. I thought they'd go for 1, but decided to go for 2.
So 6-0 our score. 11 seconds left. So the first quarter coming to a close.
They go for 1 or 2 here in the game, you saw against Arcady. They went for 2. They were 2, okay, so it kind of answers the big picture question about the kicking game, too. Don't really have any sort of a real strong option after
West Salem strategizing on the sideline after that big run for a touchdown, 26-yard gain for Brendan Holt.
A lot of talent on that team, and that's certainly, like in some previous years, a sure win for the Rams. Not this year.
And Sparta's been ascending every year. Got a new.
Great coverage by the Panthers. Number 35, the first guy down there. Number 35, Therick Roberts, a linebacker, punter. Shows his quickness on the coverage team.
So 5.5 seconds to go left in the first quarter. So Tomah takes over on their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10. And a little swing pass. Found his fullback Nolan Young for a gain. TV High School Game of the Week.
Not every game's a winner, but if you want to turn that frown into a smile, stop by Hunter's Last Chance Bar.
Present wait time. Cosmetic procedures to enhance any smile. Dedicated in providing you with the care you deserve. Dear
Beautiful shot across the way of the Bluffs, courtesy of Ryan Scaife. As we have a gorgeous night for football here, we start the second quarter. West Salem in the lead, 6-0. Hand off to Olendick, nowhere to go.
Wow, great penetration right when the ball was handed off. Glassmaker just tore through and lives up to the hype about him. Glassmaker, a two-way starter, number 55. You know, a little bit about this Timberwolves offense. In the offseason, the plan was to have Connor Prelip as the quarterback. The senior, 6'6", but decided to forego football and concentrate on baseball because he's a D1 baseball player. So hence the sophomore at quarterback, Gerke.
Long pass over to Genevico, and he makes a man miss and gains about 5 on that one.
Again, Genevico trying to get some yardage behind number 80, Mason Gerke, in that bubble screen, but didn't get the first down, so the Timberwolves giving it back again with possibly good field position for the Panthers.
More the passing game here when Tomah gets the ball back. We'll see.
4th and 4, and the Timberwolves are going to punt. Evan Westfall ready to kick it away for Tomah. Trenton Foreman, an awkward wobbly punt, goes way out of bounds. Well, a short punt.
Trenton Foreman not able to show his ability to return punts because he hasn't been able to do it yet.
The ball hasn't come anywhere near him.
Not sure if that was intentional, but perhaps so, knowing Trenton Foreman's ability as a punt returner. Well, let's see what happens now with West Salem again, right at midfield.
10:34 left in the second quarter. West Salem takes over on the 49-yard line, so only about a 15-yard net punt
we encourage you to patronize our Tomah sponsors, including the Rural Mutual Cooley Region Insurance Group in Sparta, and Quick Jerry's Little Book.
Two receivers left. Wopat fires, finds Foreman, and he's got some room. He's got a lot of room. We got a possible block in the back, and 9 penalty flags come flying in, Terry. I know there's only, 5 officials out there, but it felt like 9 penalty flags.
Well, there's 5, but there's 4 flags, so you're right.
Everybody and their mother saw that one.
Well-designed play, too, getting it to their playmaker, but it will be called back.
An easy block in the back call that I think you probably could have seen from the city of West Salem.
Yeah, a garden variety call, and of course, no reaction by on the Panthers sideline. So
oh no, they knew what they did. So, talking to the captain, Jake Carmichael.
Now, those are the calls you have to get. I mean, those are obvious.
If you miss that one, that's a bad night.
Yeah, then I would think you should maybe figure out another avocation. Let's just figure out where the ball goes, guys. Come on.
Where we're going.
The job of officials is rhythm and tempo. Make the call, keep the game going. In any officiating in any sport, it's tempo and rhythm and quickness. Make the decision and let's keep going.
Well, while they figure this out, Schumacher Kish has been serving the La Crosse area for over 50 years. Traditional services or prearranged funeral plans. It's comforting to know they'll be there when you need them. Schumacher Kish in La Crosse, La Crescent, and Onalaska. So 1st and 6. So after the gain, they brought it way back. Into Tomah territory now. Handoff faked to Holt. Wopat has some room to run, and he gets tripped up at the 31-yard line for a first down.
He has been impressive. Just a false trap. They sent a glassmaker on pulled him and ran right behind him. Good play, first down, Panthers.
Wopat showing his elusiveness in the open field as well, making a couple of men miss.
Last week threw the ball 10 times, 4 completions, 9 yards. Didn't play in game 1, and so last week was his debut with leading the Panthers to a victory over GET.
First and 10, 30-yard line. Wopat going deep down the left side and a little bit overthrown. He was looking to get it to Austin Sevier, but he just a little bit past the reach of Sevier.
Sevier with a big size advantage too, and just ran a go route down the sideline and just a little bit overthrown. Last night in that game at Roger Herring Field, Johnny Davis tried to hit his brother Jordan on some of those same plays, and he didn't really connect, but that's a favorite play when you have speedsters as a wideout. And size, that helps too.
That's right. Randy Moss, probably the best combination of speed and size we've ever seen. Handoff goes to Roberts. Roberts has some room. Therick Roberts into the end zone. Touchdown, West Salem.
Roberts got a great block, too. I don't know if the camera picked that up, but number 21, Trenton Foreman, was one of the reasons that play developed and ended up in the end zone.
A 30-yard touchdown for Therick Roberts.
Therick Roberts not in my depth chart as a running back, but certainly showed his speed on the outside, taking the edge and going virtually untouched into the end zone.
West Salem going to go for 2 again, 12-0. Wopat takes a snap, fires, and broken up at the goal line. Good play by number 88, Damian Hernandez.
Yeah, that pass was not thrown very well, but a good touchdown, but a failure for 2 touchdowns to get the point after.
Well, we're going to take a quick break while they change sides. You're watching high school football on KQEG TV.
No matter where you are, it's easy to find Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating, Lacrosse.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Here you are.
Right now, get over $1,700 in rebates and utility credits with your new Carrier Infinity Heating and Cooling System.
Call or visit us online to ask more about our Gold Star maintenance program.
Schneider Heating, West Salem.
Schneider Heating around West Salem. Here you go.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
No matter where you are.
You know that Boyers is a small family business.
That doesn't mean it's not fully staffed. Here's our sales department.
Purchasing department. Delivery and setup. Warehouse crew.
Quality control.
Advertising.
We've got the best in sales, service, and selection. Come on down and check out Boyer's Furniture.
Nathan Gibble, number 56, will do the kicking for West Salem. West Salem out to a 12-0 lead after that 30-yard scamper by Therick Roberts. End-over-end kick to the 22-yard line. Genevico Fields had some blockers. He lost them. And a good play there by Joe Hess to break it up.
Boy, the coverage team for the Panthers has been really a plus in the first half. Got a score here from a friend of mine, Logan Winning, 30-29 with a 41-yard field goal to win the game. They must have started early.
At Sparta, they don't have the lights, and so therefore they got to start those games early in order to get them in while the sun still kind of shines.
Tyler Harris, one of the better kickers in the area.
I formation. Gerke finds his man and hits Genevico right between the numbers, and Genevico committing the cardinal sin of receiving, trying to catch the ball with his chest rather than getting his hands out there.
Certainly the Timberwolves, even though being down by 2 touchdowns, need to establish a running game, and that's what we talked about in the pregame. They really have not, that is not their identity, but they need to be able to establish that.
2nd and 10 from the 25-yard line. And we got a whistle, a penalty flag is dropped.
Somebody's lining up in the neutral zone.
And offsides against West Salem. Going to be 2nd and 5 now from the 30. 9:10 remaining, 12-0 our score here. Tomah looking to get their momentum going, everything going West Salem's way near the end of the first quarter into the second. Snap goes, hands. Olendick makes first man miss, and then he's met by a host of tacklers.
Jeez, I guess so. He did run through the first tackler, but then number 58, Trevor Troush, one of the Panther defensive players, to make a pretty vicious hit.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Looks like we have an injured player too, number 28, Dawson Olendick.
That's Olendick, the ball carrier, and that's a big blow.
Got his bell rung, Carl.
I believe so. And while they tend to him, we'll take a look at another one of our sponsors for tonight's game. American Family Insurance and your West Salem agent, Jim Quinn. See Jim for protecting what you've achieved so you can dream fearlessly. Jim is your star-certified American Family Insurance agent at 123 East Hamilton Street in West Salem. Next week, we've got 2 more great games. We'll have these West Salem Panthers at Holman, and the other game next week will be Central at Aquinas at Roger Herring Stadium.
I'm looking forward to that one, and Rick and I will be at that game, and then we'll be up ready to depart at 6 a.m. for Bloomington, Illinois Wesleyan versus UWL.
It's my uncle's alma mater, Illinois Wesleyan. He kicked there for the football team. He refers to it as a small Christian school for small Christians.
They're ranked, so this will be a big game. Of course, the Eagles need to take care of the Luther Norse on tomorrow at Luther. So I'm looking forward to that drive to Decorah.
Good to see Dawson Olendick up on his feet, but very slowly making his way to the sidelines. Like you said, got his bell rung. Hopefully for Dawson, everything is going to be okay. Very gingerly walking across, but good to see him at least up on his feet. And, well, our hopes and prayers are with him. And for Tomah, it's next man up. And new tailback. Can't read his number there, Terry.
I think Nathan Spears.
Spears has carried the ball a couple times this year. Back to pass. Genevico catches it and is tackled immediately.
Boy, that's a dangerous pass just a quick pass, trying to get him on an island by himself. But Dalton Shams could have easily intercepted that, made the tackle, no gain at all.
Genevico now with 3 catches for 12 yards. That pass was just a little bit underthrown as far as velocity is concerned, and I think that allowed Shams some time to get back there. Rugby style kick again, and now we have Foreman able to display his returning ability, powers his way through and gets to the Tomah 47-yard line. Call it the 46, where they will take over.
West Salem in the whole first half so far, Carl, they have played the game on the Timberwolf side of the 50-yard line.
They have lived in Tomah territory. And you know, that rugby style kick is great as long as you get a little bit of English on it, but that was kind of a knuckleball kick, and the wind was able to get a hold of it and hold it up for Foreman, and actually he had a chance to catch it and return it.
Right, certainly a low kick just to the advantage of the return player. You want to kick it away from a return player when you kick rugby style.
Snap to Wopat, pitches to Holt. Holt's looking to get an edge, powers his way forward all the way to the 40-yard line. Big gain on the play for Brendan Holt, a gain of 7.
When you play against an option team, a zone read team, it's all about reading your keys. Connor Perry did not make the tackle on the play, but he just leveled Wopat and did his job from that linebacker spot, number 47.
So far, Justin Yane has to be pleased with what he's seen out of his West Salem Panthers, especially late first quarter into the second quarter here.
Got to be a durable quarterback to run the option.
Wopat takes a snap, looking to pass. Off to the flat, he finds his man. It's Holt. Holt tries to make a man miss and really has nowhere to go. No gain on the play for Holt.
That's a short
Good job
route
by the Timberwolves to snuff that out.
Yeah, that's a short route we're talking about. Ethan McClug, one of the Timberwolves, making the tackle. See if the Panthers go back to the air again on 3rd and 4.
They gave him a gain of 1, perhaps a little generously. Trenton Foreman brings the play in for West Salem. 3rd and 3. 6:37 left in the first half. Handoff to Roberts. Roberts makes a man miss. He's got a first down and more. All the way down to the 31-yard line for Therick Roberts.
It's all about following your blocks. And he just stutter step, went behind Ethan Olson. Connor Stranus, the center. Dylan Knoll got a big first down. He's been impressive in the first half.
8-yard gain for Therick Roberts. 2 carries, 39 yards, and a touchdown. Good night so far for Therick Roberts in limited time. And he is the tailback again on this one. Takes a snap, going deep. Trying to find Holt. Holt takes a dive and not quite able to come up with it. Good effort by Holt, and he had a step.
He did, but pretty good coverage, press coverage on him by number 7. Did a nice job. That's Cade Genevico.
Genevico, a star on offense as well as defense.
His uncle, of course, Wally Genevico, the former head coach here at Logan. Now the principal's first year.
Shams, they fake the jet sweep again. And Wopat had a little less room than the last one.
That particular. Go ahead, Carl.
Wopat gains about 2 yards on that one.
So many teams will run that to complement the jet sweep. They'll run that quarterback right behind the halfback and try to get some yardage up the middle. Last night, Johnny Davis did that a lot in the loss to the Vikings on a last-minute field goal by Johnson.
Wopat back to pass, rolls right, and he's looking for a man, and he fires it out of bounds, and it's going to be incomplete.
Tried to scramble to get away from the pressure, wisely threw it out of bounds.
Good pressure, good coverage. Brings up 4th and 8, and you got to figure they're in 4-down territory here.
Caden Hendricks, the 190-pound senior, right in Wopat's face.
5:16 to go in our first half. Dalton Shams brings it in. Need to get to the 22-yard line to get the first down. That's the line to gain. Wopat back to pass. Pressure in his face, and he didn't get rid of it, and he's sacked.
Looks like he was trying to set up a screen, too, and really good pressure by the Timberwolves on that 4th down play. Let's see if they can do something on offense. That time, Dylan.
Look with the orange numbers.
You must be a Chicago Bear fan then, huh? Or what?
I am. You caught me.
So although on muddy days, it's kind of hard to get those numbers. That's the only issue.
That very much is. Now their road uniforms are a lot harder to read because they still have the orange numerals on their backs and the white uniforms. Take a look at another one of our sponsors for tonight. Allied Cooperative, the products you need from the people you trust, all close to home. From agronomy, feed, and grain to LP and refined fuels to Ace Hardware and Cenex. Allied Cooperative. Now that's something to cheer about.
Rick and the sales staff doing a great job of getting sponsors for our football broadcast this fall.
Absolutely.
A lot of new sponsors, too, on the Mike Schmidt Show and on our UWL broadcasts.
And those of you watching our stream, obviously we're in our 3rd week here, but we have our new streaming software, and we're on YouTube. Gerke, this is a backwards pass. Genevico takes it, though. I was wondering if they were setting up a double pass there.
Look like it. They've been going to the well quite a bit. Shams again, Dalton Shams reading that extremely well. Each time they've tried to throw that, Shams has been right there at that outside.
He's been a man on a mission for sure. 2nd and 12 now. Loss of 2 on that. You could call it a run of sorts with the backwards pass.
Offensive coordinator, by the way, Matt Weber for Tomah. He was an All-American at Whitewater on their national championship team.
Gee, Whitewater, are they any good at football?
Well, their
pass to Hernandez is a little bit behind him and incomplete.
Used to be UWL dominating the WIAC, and now last few years it's been Whitewater. Last year it was Oshkosh. Oshkosh picked to win the WIAC again with Whitewater second, Platteville third, and UWL fourth.
I just couldn't believe the run that Whitewater went on. It was about 15 years in a row where they were near the top or at the top of Division III.
Yeah, UWL should have beat them last year too, by the way. Oshkosh and Whitewater, the only two losses for the Eagles.
Back to pass, high throw, and fingertip catch for Hernandez, and he's got it. What a play to stick with it for Damian Hernandez.
Hernandez at 5'11", senior, one of the keys for the Timberwolves. Great pass, too, by Gerke. Gerke to Hernandez, and a first down.
8 out of 11 passing so far for Gerke, so he's been efficient. And this is the best drive of the game so far for Tomah, as they're finally into West Salem territory. This whole game they've been playing in their own territory.
I know, uncharted waters for the Timberwolves.
Gerke takes a snap, back to throw, go route, and Hernandez is, it's incomplete. Awfully close there.
Good coverage by the Panthers again.
Best thing you can do as a defensive back in a situation like that is let the sideline be an extra defender for you. Force the man right to the white line.
Exactly. Trenton Foreman, one of the three Panthers on that coverage.
2nd and 10, 48-yard line of West Salem. Gerke takes a snap, hands off. That's Spears taking the carry and nowhere to go.
Boy, the Panthers, Carl, have just really shut down the running game completely.
Nathan Spears filling in for the injured Dawson Olendick. And hopefully Olendick is doing all right after he went out with what appeared to be an apparent head injury.
Brandon Lunn making that hit. Should talk about Bob Gorniak, too, the defensive coordinator for the Panthers. Been there for almost 30 years. Does a great job. Appreciate his commitment to the Panther football program.
50-yard line. Gerke takes a snap, and he tried to make a pass, and it was intercepted. He was hit as he was throwing it, and probably should have just tucked it and went down, but...
Well, John Glassmaker won't get credit for the interception, but he's the guy that forced the bad pass, number 55.
Brandon Lunn, the intercepting Panther, and the best drive of the day for Tomah is snuffed out on a turnover. And now West Salem with excellent field position, just short of midfield.
A lot of teams will try to go for a home run after a turnover. Let's see if Joe Wolpat decides to do that.
Wolpat back to pass, has a man in his face, and he's ripped down. Jake Carmichael with a sack.
There's a bright spot for the Timberwolves. Good penetration. The blocking broke down. Wolpat never had a chance.
Loss of 10 on the play. 2nd and 20.
Good play against a team that rushes hard is a screen. Let's see if that maybe will happen in this possession.
Handoff to Holt, trying to get an edge. He's got it. He's got some room. Lowers his shoulder and creates contact, and he gains most of the previous loss back and a little bit more, actually.
Probably better than a screen using Holt. He's certainly your playmaker, the guy you go to when you need yardage.
So Holt with a 12-yard gain brings up 3rd and 8, just across midfield into Tomah territory. That's fun to say, Tomah territory. 2:50 left in our first half.
50 and counting left in the first half. Split left. Splits on both sides, actually. Slot right.
Hot, a little bit of a high snap, grabbed by Wolpat. Little dump pass off to Lunn. And Lunn makes his way all the way across to the 37-yard line, and he's got a first down.
I like to call a little play action and throw a swing pass to your back out of the backfield. Safe pass. Takes care of your defensive pressure. First down.
38-yard line, 1st and 10 for West Salem. Snap goes to Wolpat, hands to Holt. Holt gets back to the line of scrimmage and a little bit more, but not a whole lot of running room there for Brendan Holt on that play.
I've been impressed with some of the Timberwolf defensive players. That time, number 9, Eric Gomez, chasing him from behind, making the tackle.
No gain on the play. A little under 2 minutes left, 1:52. Snap goes to Wolpat. Looks for a man, and he's met by a sack. That's number 76, Blake Mosley, the senior defensive lineman.
Yeah, actually, the blocking has broken down quite often in this first half.
Absolutely.
Sure, that will be addressed at halftime. What's going on with the offensive line?
Especially on these passing downs. 107 left, 3rd and 19. And we got an official timeout. There was a chunk of something that Brendan Holt discarded onto the field. Not sure what that was.
Probably a mouth guard.
I think so. Wolpat ducks his shoulders and now going deep. Looking for Foreman. He's got him. What a play by Trenton Foreman into double coverage. Wolpat gets the home run out to him.
Boy, he pump faked once, froze the defense. A tight window. He found the window. Great first down. Perfect pass. Even a better catch.
A 41-yard gain from Wolpat to Foreman. Wolpat hands to Holt. Inside the 10-yard line now, Brendan Holt. 4-yard gain for Holt.
Holt your downhill run or give the ball again to him.
And we have an injury. It's number 50, Jake Carmichael, down on the field. So hopefully Carmichael's okay.
Got another score from Onalask, up 21-0 over Aquinas in the first half.
While they tend to him, want to remind you, don't miss UW football this Saturday at 1 p.m. on KQEGTV.com or Tuesday night on the playback at 7 p.m. on KQEG TV 23. This week, UWL plays at Luther College, the Norse.
Luther having a brand new coach and a new offensive coordinator, so and a relatively new defensive coordinator. Lost a lot of players last year, so the Eagle coaching staff kind of unsure what to expect in Decorah tomorrow afternoon.
Still working here on Taunton and around the 12-yard line. Then we'll have Tomah Booster Club president
Jake Carmichael still down on the play.
Still trying to get all the normal features here, even though we only have Mr. Kicker with us
Well, as they still tend to, Carmichael, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back. You're watching high school football on KQEG TV.
Not every game's a winner, but if you want to turn that frown into a smile, stop by Hunter's Last Chance Bar and Grill in West Salem for delicious post-game food. Their homemade 16-inch unlimited topping pizza for just $12 will put a smile on everyone's face. Stop in on Taco Tuesday or Wednesday for $2 burgers. Open every day at 11 a.m. with great lunch specials. For 40 years, Hunter's has had a rich tradition of serving the families of West Salem with great food at reasonable prices. Hunter's Last Chance Bar and Grill, Leonard Street and downtown West.
Mix 96, today's best music mix. Good morning. Van McNeil, More Music Morning Show is on the air.
Say, hey now, baby. Hello, Ryan Seacrest here, Mix 96.
Are you ready for it?
Hey, it's Reed Magnum, Mix 96. Taylor Swift, here we go.
This is Pop Crush Nights. I am Lisa Page. The moment that I've been talking about all week, I'm sure you're so over me mentioning the Chainsmokers, but hi, Alex and Drew are on the line right now.
Hi, Rays fans. I'm Dan Dyker, Billy Doc Niles, Paul Reichert. We bring you the Badger State Clean Water and Air Race Report every Saturday at noon at 1460 WBUG. What a great time of the year it is, Billy.
It is a great time to go racing, and we will bring you interviews from the top drivers across the Midwest.
And also, results.
Yes, Paul Reichert here, and I've got the Burning River Race Report bringing you results from all over the country.
Are we going to buy him some new shoes this year?
Oh, he needs them to get to Big Four.
Going to have to do that. Saturdays at noon, 1460 WBOG.
Welcome back, everybody. Jake Carmichael, the injured Timberwolf, being helped off, and he's now being carried by a couple of his teammates and coaches. So something you just hate to see for the senior defensive lineman, Jake Carmichael, 5'11", 240 pounds.
We talked in the pregame of a lot of injuries for the Timberwolves.
And there's another one.
Yeah, I'm glad.
We've had a couple tonight.
Exactly. Brad Pluger, the head coach, great guy, has done a really good job for the Timberwolves as the head coach and head basketball coach too. A star for the Timberwolves years ago, coming back and to his hometown.
Tomah trying to do more true platooning and have fewer two-way guys this year, playing 20 different starters.
Well, to reset, it's 12-0 in favor of West Salem. 33 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 8 from the 9-yard line. They can still get a first down without a touchdown. Wolpat in the gun. And a pitch across to Holt. Holt makes a man miss, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown, and no flags on the play. 9-yard touchdown for Brendan Holt.
A deflating touchdown for Tomah.
So 18-0 the score with 26 seconds to go. And you know that West Salem's going to go for two here.
As they have the first couple of times. Pat out of the shotgun. Foreman split left, Holt sole setback. Foreman actually split right, I beg your pardon.
Well, Pat takes the snap, hands to Holt, and he's got it. 2-point conversion.
Goes to his north-south physical downhill runner right behind Glassmaker. An easy 2-point conversion.
Brendan Holt is a real throwback. He's an old school type runner. Gets his shoulders square, big guy, able to run over some tacklers, but don't discount his open field speed.
Yeah, he's able to get his shoulders down. Of course, low man wins. His technique is good. His speed is good. His determination, all those, he's got the whole package.
So now with 26 seconds to go in the first half, there is an outside chance at Tomah getting a score before the first half, but this may well be our halftime score.
To be honest, this looks like senior day and sophomore.
Well, it's Parents' Day here at this home opener for the Panthers, and in the first half, at least the parents are delighted.
Absolutely, and you know they introduced all the players before the game. So that was good to see.
Nathan Gribble set to kick off.
Gibble only a sophomore. And I see Geneva Co. and I cannot quite catch who the near man is. Is that Hernandez? It is Hernandez.
Hernandez
tries to set up some blocking. He's stiff arms a man, gets tackled at the 36-yard line by a pile of black shirts.
He showed some elusiveness there on that return.
Good patience as well, letting the blocking set up rather than trying to just barge ahead and run into a bunch of tacklers right away.
Yeah. Caden Callum with the tackle, the sophomore, only number 20.
"18 seconds to go. Tomah on their own 37-yard line. See if they're going to take a shot or whether they're just going to be content to run it out. Spears takes the handoff, and no gain on the play for Spears.
Dangerous running style, Carl, for Spears, standing straight up.
I believe that will be the end of the first half here, with a score of West Salem 20 and Tomah nothing. All Panthers in the first half here. Well, we will take a little break, and we're going to come back with some stats and first half thoughts in a little bit here. You're watching high school football on KQEG TV and KQEGTV.com.
You know that Boyers is a small family business.
That doesn't mean it's not fully staffed. Here's our sales department.
Purchasing department. Delivery and setup. Warehouse crew.
Quality control.
Advertising.
We've got the best in sales, service, and selection. Come on down and check out Boyers Furniture.
You know that Boyers is a small...
Discover the Deer Creek Dental difference.
It doesn't feel like going to the dentist.
They have all the comforts of home.
And the most advanced care.
Deer Creek Dental Clinic. Great smiles happen here. For all those things that make you smile, like family time, playtime, getting away from it all. Choose Deer Creek Dental Clinic, dedicated to patient comfort and advanced care. Deer Creek Dental. Great smiles happen here.
At Tri-State Business Machines, our job is to keep you moving forward. We know your business depends on the reliability of your equipment. That's why we're here, to provide you with the industry's highest rated machines and the know-how to keep them running at peak efficiency. We understand the importance of quality sales, service, and support. We've been doing it for over 60 years. To learn more about what we can do for you, visit tsbm.com. Tri-State Business Machines. Move forward with us.
It's halftime on the KQEG TV High School Game of the Week. Tonight's game features the Tomah Timberwolves and the West Salem Panthers. We'll return with the second half of tonight's game after these messages. It's halftime on the KQEG.
Welcome back, everybody. It's halftime here. Performance by the West Salem Panther dance team. And our score 20-0 in favor of the West Salem Panthers. And it's really been all Panthers, especially since the end of the first quarter. That second quarter was dominated by West Salem.
Well, their defense just really dominates the Timberwolves. And of course, for Brad Pluger, the head coach, a disappointment with injuries occurred the first game against Mauston. They rebounded and played extremely well last week. We talked about that 50-point outburst on offense. In this game, they really have not been able to do anything. Bob Gorniak, the defensive coordinator, has his team so well disciplined. Everything the Timberwolves try to do offensively with the passing game, a black jersey is right there. So certainly dominated by the Panther defense. We kind of expected that a little bit. We talked in the pregame about the Timberwolves needing to balance their offense with a run and the pass. They have not been able to do that.
Well, as I do some last-minute calculations here, so far in the first half, for Tomah passing, we have Justin Gerke. He is 8 out of 12 for 42 yards and an interception. And Wopat for West Salem, 5 out of 9 for 91 yards for Wopat. Leading in rushing, so to speak, for Tomah is 2 yards for Dawson Olendick, who on 5 carries, on his last carry, left with what was an apparent head injury. Hope everything's okay with him, so I believe his night is done, and it will be Nathan Spears the rest of the way. So far, 12 carries for 82 yards for Brendan Holt and 2 touchdowns for him. So those are kind of the statistical highlights of the game. Another touchdown for Therick Roberts on a 30-yard scamper in the second quarter. So really been a dominant performance so far by West Salem.
Well, we talked about the West Salem defense, but I have not seen Joe Wopat play before. He's a senior, and we talked about his stats in the game against Black River. Did not check that against GET. Did not throw the ball at all, basically, 4 completions, but showing his ability to throw the ball in this game. So, injured the first game. I've been impressed with him. And Trenton Foreman, certainly a go-to receiver, but Brendan Holt, and you mentioned the diversity of their offense, and that has been a factor too.
Yeah, 2 catches for 47 yards for Trenton Foreman, including the big 41-yard gain that set up the third of the West Salem touchdowns for tonight. And really, what kind of things are you doing if you're Brad Pfluger in this locker room, trying to reset and say, you know, the first half is over. We got to come out guns a-blazing in the second half and get the game going.
Well, knowing his style, I'm sure he's challenging his players, but then trying to find some bright spots, looking at strategy-wise where the breakdowns are, certainly talking to his offensive line. What do we need to do to make adjustments to get the running game going? That's where you have your coaches up in the press box, finding those ways to correct things. So certainly, you knowing him, you have to make sure that your players don't quit on you. Otherwise, it could be a running clock in the second half.
And running clock being at a 35-point deficit, so, you know, with the way this game has gone so far, that tells me that that's definitely a possibility. So, if you're Brad Pfluger, you really got to get your troops rallied and tell them that there's nothing you can do about the way the first half went. You have to come out a brand new football team in the second half.
That was his personality when he played, and he was again an excellent athlete at Tomah, and he is a good leader as a coach. So I'm sure that is being addressed.
Well, we're going to take a little break before we come back for the second half. You're watching high school football on KQEG TV and KQEGTV.com. Thank you for joining us on our stream as well as on the playback.
No matter where you are, it's easy to find Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating, Lacrosse. Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Here you are.
Right now, get over $1,700 in rebates and utility credits with your new Carrier Infinity Heating and Cooling System.
Call or visit us online to ask more about our Gold Star maintenance program.
Schneider Heating, West Salem.
Schneider Heating around West Salem. Here you go.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
No matter.
From the bluffs to the river, surround yourself with
knowledge, competition. The Arts.
Welcome back, everybody. Carl Greenfield alongside Terry Erickson. Ryan Scaife on camera. We're just getting set for our second half for tonight's game. West Salem in the lead, 20-0. What does West Salem have to do to continue this success that they've had so far tonight?
Well, we talked about what Tomah needs to do, and you're right, West Salem. One of the concerns that West Salem, I am sure, addressed was their offensive line blocking.
Absolutely.
And picking up the blitz. I mean, you need to protect your quarterback better than that, and if your line is breaking down like they were, then you certainly keeping a back in there to protect Joe Wopat is necessary. So that would be one thing that I would address, and I'm sure it was, knowing the quality of their coaching staff. And, of course, okay, what's our game plan for the second half? You got the lead. You don't live in a level of comfort, so you think the game is over with. Just challenge your players, again, to mix up your run and your pass, develop a level of balance, and control the second half.
Well put, Terry. So Tomah had deferred to the second half, so they will receive the second half kickoff here. And it will likely be number 56, Nathan Gibble, doing the kicking for West Salem. And deep to receive will be Damian Hernandez and Cade Genevico. An update from La Crescent, Minnesota, where Rick Wilson and Art Fay are covering that game for the Lancers. St. Charles dominating that one.
Go Carl, and he is now running for Division II for in Duluth. So just kind of an update on the Fechner family.
All right. One thing that I've really noticed with this officiating crew is that they're not very expeditious with anything that they do. It seems like every little movement is very deliberate. They take their time. Like you were saying, it's the job of the officiating crew to keep the pace of the game moving, and it feels like they've been almost deliberately slowing it down. I feel like we've been ready for this kickoff for a minute and a half now.
If you move up a level to the collegiate and then up another level to the big time in the NFL, you better have tempo, rhythm, and you better make your decisions quickly. You better hustle, and you better look like you're an official. And,
you know, if they had gotten to this kickoff a little bit sooner, maybe it wouldn't have been blown off the tee.
There you go.
Oh, I only kid. Guys, you're doing a great job tonight. A straight-on kick fielded by Hernandez on a bounce. Tries to get an edge. He's got some room to run. There he goes off to the left sideline. 40, 35, and ripped down. A beautiful return for Damian Hernandez. And we have a block in the back that's going to negate all of that.
Well, how many times when you change directions does that occur? And you know, oftentimes when that occurs, it's not the fault of the blocker. You just are caught like between the devil and the deep blue sea.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden you try to make a block. But, again, it better be a justifiable block in the back, and it probably was.
I didn't see it personally, but I was following the ball. So that's why they have multiple officials out there.
I was admiring the fact that Hernandez changed directions and showed his breakaway speed down the sideline. So I'm with you, not watching what happened back on the 20-yard line. That's an unfortunate situation.
That's a perfect word for it, is unfortunate, because
a momentary level of excitement, Carl, and now all of a sudden you're down in Death Valley.
It's really the first excitement Tomah's had all night. Gerke back to pass. And the hit the ground. It looked like it was almost intercepted.
Good call by
Caleb
the official,
Young,
though, because it did hit the ground. Just threw a little bit behind him, and that caused a little disruption in that passing play. Got to be careful down on your own 10-yard line.
8 for 13 so far, 42 yards and an interception for Gerke. Almost had a second interception there. I formation, hands, and Spears takes the carry. Going to gain a couple of yards there.
Spears trying to run off tackle again. The lateral pursuit of the Panthers. That time, number 55, John Glassmaker, one of the several Panther tacklers.
4-yard gain for Nathan Spears brings up 3rd and 6 from their own 14-yard line. In the shadow of their own goalposts.
Pretty hard.
Tomah just trying to get some breathing room here.
Just pretty hard to run at all against this defense.
Offset I formation. Gerke back to pass. Holt in pursuit. And a low pass is incomplete, intended for Hernandez.
Just a bull rush by number 44, Brendan Holt. Just ran right through the blocker, caused disruption, and the Timberwolves have to give the ball up.
Is there anything that Brendan Holt doesn't do well?
Not that I know of. There must be something in his DNA that he's not perfect at, but certainly on the football field, he's a shining light here with the Panthers.
Westfall kicks it away. This is a high knuckler and fielded by number 21, Trenton Foreman. And we got a late penalty flag. I think that was a little ticky-tack.
If that was a penalty on the Timberwolves, I'm sorry, that was not appropriate.
I think we're all in agreement here. Have our friends from Cool Gold, Magnum Media.
Why do we have 5 officials?
And they're waving off the flag, which is the right decision, I believe.
Of course it was. He was going to call a late hit on a
fair catch.
And it was just kind of premature, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Our Magnum partners next to us, I'm sure you've been able to hear a little bit of them bleeding into our audio. There's not a whole lot of space between the broadcasters here in the press box.
Unlike UWL, where we have our own booth.
You got your own room altogether. Wopat back to throw. And we got a penalty flag in the backfield. Deep pass. And it is caught by Foreman. Temporarily a touchdown.
Not a perfect pass, but nevertheless did the job. But this is going to be holding.
And we got holding against West Salem. Going to wipe that one out. I could see that one coming.
A friend of mine that works college told me that you could probably call holding probably every other play if you wanted to. It's just a matter of picking the most egregious play or hold that you can find.
When I was in college, I officiated some junior high football, and I think you could call holding on 7 or 8 offensive players on every play. And you just got it, like you said, find the most egregious play, and did it give the offense an actual advantage?
I like the officials at that middle school level that just talk to them and say, hey, your hands are too far out, you're grabbing, do that again, I'm going to have to call it, young man.
Yep. That was always the conversation that we had with the kids. First and 23 from their own 46. Wopat fakes the handoff and is ripped straight down to the turf.
Calls his own number, but that time the Timberwolves stop him, number 80. Mason Gerke. as it gets darker here, it gets more difficult to see with some of these bulbs burned out in this press box.
You know, they revamped the surface here. They haven't revamped the
put some new bulbs
box yet. Foreman strung out on the swing pass, and he is met for a loss. Foreman's going to lose about 3 yards on the play.
That time, Damian Hernandez came up really quickly, read it well. Not another holding penalty on West Salem.
And you got to figure that they may decline this one, although the extra field position, that's a tough call.
On a quick pass where it's basically you release it within a split second, pretty hard to hold.
It's either going to be 3rd and 26 or 2nd and 33. And I think they're gonna march it back. It's gonna be 3rd and 30 or so, 31. Second and 31 is the official number. The line to gain the other 31-yard line. Wolpat's got a little bit of running room, but he's ripped down by number 21, Nolan Young.
Boy, the Timberwolves have stopped that quarterback option in the third quarter.
Spurrier had about 3rd and about 45 to his own 5-yard line. I think he was so mad at his own team he gets that accurate for the safety. You guys can't do any better than this. We're giving them 2 points and we're kicking it from the 20s. That's why not many people like it.
Snap back to Wopat, looking to find Foreman, and it's thrown out of bounds. Incomplete.
Trying to find his favorite receiver, Carl. Good defense that time by number 13, Ethan McClug.
And we have another penalty flag. I think we might have another holding call.
What is this?
A face mask against the offense. It's been about as bad as it can be on this offensive series for West Salem, and the Timberwolves are just going to decline the penalty so they can get the football back. Otherwise, they're going to have about 11 defensive plays. And
you know, the old saying, I've met the enemy, and the enemy is me. Well, the enemy on that possession was their own team.
And they saw a lot of yellow laundry hitting the field. 4th and 31 from the 38-yard line. And another penalty flag comes flying. We got a false start.
Last night the game started at 7 o'clock. I left Roger Herring Field at 5 minutes to 10. Now, games are usually over in like 2 hours.
Maybe 2:15.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Here we are at 8:40, and it'll be 10 o'clock.
It'll probably be 10 o'clock.
Well, I need to get home in time for the sports at 10 o'clock.
That's right.
10:15.
High snap. Therick Roberts kicks it away. Line drive kick fielded by Hernandez and tackled immediately. Incredible coverage there by Joe Hess to make the play.
Time after time, the special team, the coverage team for the Panthers has just been impressive. Kind of dangerous, too, catching that line drive and not paying attention to the coverage team.
8:56 left, 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for Tomah. And Tomah's got to get something moving. Gerke got a single back behind him. Fakes the pass and going deep and intercepted by Foreman. Foreman takes it back to the 46-yard line. And that is a killer.
Foreman did not bite on the play action. and just stayed in his fourth, stayed in his zone coverage on the outside, and timed it perfectly. Of course, the advantage is his size, too.
So not only does West Salem keep the Tomah defense on the field for several penalties and eventually a punt, immediately upon receiving the ball, Tomah turns it over, and the Tomah defense has to return to the field after just one play of a breather.
Well,
unbelievable.
Let's see if West Salem can not shoot themselves in the foot on this possession and get something going.
After that last possession, I'm not sure they have a foot left to shoot.
West Salem, after they give it up on the punt, gets it right back on the next play.
8:48 to go, 46-yard line. We got a timeout on the field. And while they take a timeout, we're going to do the same thing. 20-0 our score, West Salem in the lead. You're watching high school football on KQEG TV.
Not every game's a winner, but if you want to turn that frown into a smile, stop by Hunter's Last Chance Bar and Grill in West Salem for delicious post-game food. Their homemade 16-inch unlimited topping pizza for just $12 will put a smile on everyone's face. Stop in on Taco Tuesday or Wednesday for $2 burgers. Open every day at 11 a.m. with great lunch specials. For 40 years, Hunter's has had a rich tradition of serving the families of West Salem with great food at reasonable prices. Hunter's Last Chance Bar and Grill, Leonard Street and downtown West.
Welcome back, everyone. West Salem took a timeout there prior to that 1st and 10 play. They didn't like what they saw coming out of the huddle for whatever reason. Getting set for play here. Two receivers to the left, one to the way far side. Man in motion. Wolpat takes the snap, hands to Holt. Fakes the handoff. Wolpat's got some room. Wolpat's got a blocker, and he's tumbled down at the 20-yard line. You know how good that fake was? Fake me out.
Well, you know, previously in this quarter, the Timberwolves shut down that play. And Justin Yang says, we're going to go through it. We're going to keep running it until we get it right. So Wolpat with a good game.
So prior to that play with the sacks against Wolpat, and in high school ball, a sack is considered a running play, and so therefore it counts against your running statistics. Wolpat had only netted 4 yards on 10 carries, but now he's up to 30 yards on 11 carries. So big 26-yard gain, hands off to... That's Therick Robertson for the touchdown.
Second touchdown for Therick Robertson. Boy, he has been highly impressive. You take him along with
Holt.
Brendan Holt, and my gosh, that's quite a tandem.
And the running from the quarterback position in Wolpat, and you've got a three-headed monster.
You do.
26-20 the score here. Looking to go for two again. They've failed on 2 conversions, and they've gotten one of them. Looking to get another one here. Wolpat in shotgun, hands off to, just tripped up is Holt.
Holt saw nothing but the end zone, but good defense by the Timberwolves.
And Holt is a little bit slow to get up. And
looks like an ankle too.
And if that's the case, that's a huge issue for West Salem. Doesn't look like it's anything too severe, but, you know, who am I to speculate? He's up on his feet. He's walking a little gingerly, but I think he's doing all right. It's probably going to be sore tomorrow. Get some ice packs on it tonight.
Yeah, he's a warrior. He won't be down too long. So
I'm no stranger to a sprained ankle, and let me tell you, it hurts in the moment, and it swells up. but it's the next day that really gets you.
His gait doesn't demonstrate much of a problem with his ankle. I'm sure we'll see him back in.
Good news for the West Salem Panthers as they get set to kick off here. Join us on Tuesday at the Cleary Alumni and Friends Center on the UWL campus for the Mike Schmidt Football Show. We record the show at noon on Tuesday, and you can be part of the studio audience. Lunch will be served.
Right. And Coach Schmidt will stick around for a while after the show.
A little Q&A session?
Yeah, so that will be a fun part of the hour at the Cleary and Friends Alumni Center.
I've gotten the opportunity to meet Coach Schmidt on a couple of occasions. He just seems like a wonderful man, a good family man, and he has really brought life into the UWL football program.
He's got a contagious personality, that's for sure.
End over end kick skips out of bounds. We're going to have a procedure penalty against West Salem on that kickoff.
Throw your flag there, official. The ball should go on the 35-yard line.
25 yards from the kick. So pretty good field position for Tomah, who had about as bad of a last possession as you can have. One play, one interception. So Tomah looking to just scrape something together in this third quarter here as we have 8:10 remaining.
Official not sure where to put the ball. Let's go, guys. Get the ball, put it down, and let's get going. Jeez, come on. I think waiting for a ball from the Tomah sideline. You got to know where the ball goes. Come on.
It looks like they're going to spot it at the 40, which is incorrect.
It is.
Should be the 35-yard line. Justin Yane doesn't seem to be protesting too much. Although with a 26-0 lead, it's not too terrible. And that's the first carry of the game for Eric Gomez, number 9.
One of the few plus yardage on the run for Tomah.
Tomah has not really run the ball very much at all tonight. Only a total of 9 carries for a total of 8 yards. Eric Gomez, a 5'11", 165-pound senior. Gomez takes a handoff again, makes a man miss, and gets across and gets a first down into West Salem territory. The two best runs of the night.
Exactly, tackled by Trevor Troush, number 58, but you're right, 2 good runs by Gomez. Maybe they found a running back, huh?
After the loss of Dawson Olendick in the first half, they handed some carries to Nathan Spears, and in this series it's been Gomez, and so far so good. Oh, we got a false start penalty on the left side of the line.
Left tackle moved prior pre-snap penalty, easy call.
So it'll be 1st and 15 back on the Tomah side of the 50.
See if Tomah can get something going here, but build some momentum, get a little confidence, get their fans into the game.
Get some points on the board is what they're really looking to do here. 1st and 15, snap, pass to Genevico, got some room, and he's back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a little bit more. Call it a gain of 6 on the play for Genevico.
They like that play, that's for sure. Went to it about 8 times in this game so far. Tackle by number 28, Brandon Lunn.
I formation, Gerke under center. And a pump fake and pass, and he finds Hernandez, who stays on his feet and is tackled down at the 22-yard line. Best field position, biggest play of the night for Tomah. Gain of 25 on the play.
Showed Gerke's ability to throw the ball as a 6'3 sophomore.
10 out of 17 for 73 yards and 2 interceptions for Gerke. Best passing play of the night there. And they're working on his cramps still. Stretching it out.
Injuries, penalties. We got a long game here, Carl.
Yes, we do. Did you bring the cot? You could just stay overnight.
I don't live too far from here, but I got to be up early in the morning, and I got
the road to Decorah.
Well, first I got a run tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for the French Island Police Department, a charity run, and then home to take a shower and on the way to Decorah, Iowa for that game.
I'll be headed to Iowa this weekend myself on Sunday. I'll be going to Dyersville, the home of the Field of Dreams.
Oh, I've
going
been there
to
a few times.
It's what's called the Team of Dreams.
Oh, good.
And there will be several former players, some Hall of Famers, Tom Glavine, Frank Thomas, Cal Ripken Jr., all going to be there.
Wow,
playing a celebrity softball game.
Hey, awesome. So
I'm excited.
That's your plans for the weekend.
That's my plan. Gerke hands to his fullback, who's got no room.
It's easy. Ran into the big arms of Elijah Smith and number 60 or 58 in on the tackle.
2-yard loss for Nolan
Troush.
Young.
Get that lead fullback, and that's where they're probably missing Burkholder there. You know, the lead fullback comes through, scoops up any of the stuff missed by the lineman, and you're in.
5.5 left in the third quarter.
26-0 West Salem leads late third quarter.
Second and 12, 25-yard line. Gerke fakes the handoff, back to pass, hit as he throws and incomplete. Good effort by Young to try and corral that pass, but
just intense
unable to bring it in.
Ethan Olson's played very well, two-way starter, number 52, the senior. Know his mom pretty well, Sipa, grew up, went to Logan. Pretty proud of her son.
Sports here in WBOG and Magnum.media, brought to you in part by Allied Cooperative of Tomah.
Third and 12 now, 25-yard line. I formation backfield. Back to pass, deep to the end zone, and we're going to get face-guarding pass interference.
That's what we have, and I think that's the right call.
That's a perfect call.
An easy
Never
call.
Turned around as Dalton Shams was in coverage on Damian Hernandez.
Yeah, an easy call, a correct call. Good job. I told you these guys were officiating crew were doing a good job, didn't I?
This will end up being first, and this is going to be close to a first down. I'm not sure this is going to be a first down. One thing I disagree with in high school football is that
Going to see where the pass interference gets them.
I think there's uncertainty again as to where the ball. Come on, guys. Make the call, march it off, and let's go.
I think they're discussing it with Nolan Young. Pass interference against the defense, obviously the call.
It's not really much of a necessary dialogue with Tomah. You say, you want the penalty, right? And that's all you say.
So a first down now for Tomah, best field position of the day.
It's kind of like the Central game last night. They were down 27-7 late in the third of the Central last night.
5:10 remaining in the third quarter.
Hernandez sounds funny to say a walk-off. Yeah. If I get a baseball tournament anytime, I'm getting in. Split left, slot right.
Rolls left, looking to pass, and nowhere to throw it, and he's sacked. Loss of 5 on the play.
Boy, desperately tried to roll out, get some vision to find a receiver, but too much pressure by the Panthers. John Glassmaker right there, along with Trevor Troush.
Officially the first sack of the night, or at least unofficially by my count. Gerke has been able to get rid of the ball on most occasions, but not on that one. Back to pass, and now a second sack. Back-to-back sacks by the West Salem defensive line.
Cody Risch, Brendan Holt, number 44 right there. Brendan Holt just found a gap and found the quarterback.
And good to see Brendan Holt back out on the field. I hadn't noticed that he was out too long after he tweaked an ankle. 3rd and 22 now from the 24-yard line. Gerke back to pass, and he looks for a man. He fires it wildly in the air, and Mason Gerke got his fingertips on it.
Boy, desperately, valiantly tried to get rid of it.
That's a dangerous proposition when you don't have much throwing power.
Again, in this possession, Carl, the Panthers have rose to the occasion.
Union State Bank of West Salem is proud to support West Salem athletics. Union State Bank is a hometown community bank serving families and businesses in the Cooley region area. For your banking needs, Union State Bank, where customers and community come first. Member FDIC.
He had the shotgun, actually had a pistol this time. Slot right.
Gerke back to pass. 4th and 22. That ball's loose. I'm not sure that was even a forward pass, but if that had been ruled a fumble, Brendan Holt would have had no one in front of him to stop him.
That just like opening up the Red Sea. Trevor Troush, number 58 right there, along with 2 other black jerseys, and nowhere for Gerke to go.
If you'd like to obtain a copy of tonight's game, go to our website, kqegtv.com, the new and improved kqegtv.com. And if you're there watching us on the stream, obviously you know that we have updated our website.
Boy, after a great play and down in the red zone, what do the Timberwolves do? They go backwards
on every single play.
My gosh, yeah.
They were doing their best West Salem impression from that one series.
They were, exactly. They did it without the use of a penalty.
And we got you said the word penalty and a flag went flying.
I got to delay a game.
Delay a game.
I think we've had every type of penalty known to mankind here.
We've had your common 5-yarders. We've had some 10-yarders. We've had 15-yard personal fouls. We've had an unsportsmanlike. I think we've gotten about everything covered.
We have, and now we finally get a delay a game.
Short run. Brendan Holt maybe got a yard on that one.
Ran into Seth Carlson, the defensive tackle.
Second and 15 now from the 19-yard line. 3:11 remaining in our third quarter. 4 receivers now, 3 to the left. Handoff to Holt, hop step, and back to the line of scrimmage again. Got about a half-yard gain.
Again, not much running room. Ran into number 61 that time, Ben Larson.
Third and 15 now.
Expect Ben Wopat to, that's his dad, Ben, who's on the coaching staff. Joe Wolpat to throw on this one.
Third and 13, third and 15. I say no gain on that previous play for Holt as well. This time
High snap. Wolpat fires, finds Joe Hess, and he's back to what was the original line of scrimmage almost, and we have a penalty flag.
That was great defense. All three of those plays well defended by Tomah. Oh, come on. What do we have now, guys?
Penalty's going to go against West Salem, it looks like. They're talking to Nolan Young. Speculating whether we have an unsportsmanlike conduct against West Salem.
Hit to the head, it looks like he's indicating.
And so
officials explaining it to the coach.
Got to figure what.
This has been frustrating, to say the least.
So it's going to be fourth down, and they're going to mark it off after. Well, maybe not.
Perry had 8 tackles, by the way, through
2:08
their fourth leading tackler.
left in the third quarter.
The question is, what are we waiting for here now? Not unsure where to spot the ball, where to penalize. Sounds like I'm being too critical, but it's not been good, guys.
Fourth and 23 is the final down and distance.
Now 3 guys have to come over and explain it to Justin Yang.
What I wonder is what's taking so much time, you know.
I don't know. I've said enough. I think our viewers get the point.
And the 11th man hustles onto the field for West Salem on the punt team.
And, of course, there's still uncertainty. The white hat not ready.
Derek Roberts deep to punt for West Salem. Damian Hernandez back to receive. Roberts has done a nice job tonight punting the ball.
I agree with you, though. You don't think that way, though. Think about those, make a proper aggressive rush here and don't run into the kicker.
And we're finally back underway here.
Unlike what our friend Craig Otto says, I think you set up a return on this.
Roberts here will line drive kick.
And they try to block it, and Hernandez makes the fair catch.
Good coverage again. Hernandez, good job of hanging onto the ball.
There's a man right in his face. 1:59 now.
28-yard punt, nothing on the return for Hernandez.
Well, forget about getting home in time to watch sports, huh?
That's all right. We got a long weekend ahead of us.
See, the problem with these late games is if you want to read the Tribune in the morning,
they might not get into the newspaper.
It's a deadline.
Tight end will shift to the right side of the formation. I formation behind your key under center.
Hand off to Gomez. Goes a couple of yards.
Not much running room, but Gomez at least moves the yard marker. Second down.
All positive gains thus far for Eric Gomez. 14 yards on 3 carries.
Gomez probably didn't plan to play a lot. He's not on our depth chart, starts on defense, but as a senior, has gotten some offensive playing time.
So far, so good for him. Fake the handoff. Good block by Gomez. Finds his man on the near sideline. That's Hernandez. And it got a first down.
That time using the sideline to his advantage, and Gerke rolling out, getting away from the pressure, and connecting for a first down.
Hernandez with 3 catches for 48 yards so far.
I think Tomah could do it more effectively, but you get that blitz pressure and you can't do a whole lot of anything as far as getting a basic playoff. It's hard to mix in a rollout.
First and 10, 27-yard line. Minute 15 to go here in the third quarter. Handoff to the fullback, and boy, was he ripped down.
Yeah, there was disruption on that handoff, and the timing was not there. Fortunately, we didn't have a turnover.
And that was number 47, Connor Perry, with the carry.
First time we've called his name, Carl.
And not for the best of circumstances, no gain. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Deep pass to Hernandez is caught all the way down to the 3-yard line. A falling, stumbling catch for Damian Hernandez. Great coordination to make the play as he orients himself to the ball in the air and makes contact with the ground, maintaining possession of the ball.
Beat Dalton Shams on that go route on the outside, similar to what the Timberwolves did a few possessions ago, but then couldn't put it in.
First and goal, 3-yard line. Timberwolves under 20 seconds in the third quarter here. And just barely scampering off was Austin Sevier, the defender. Handoff to Gomez. Going to be short of the goal line, and that's going to be the last play of the third quarter.
About a yard and a half, and that will be the final play of the third quarter.
So with Gomez's carry, we're down to the 1-yard line, and we are finished with 3 quarters here at Swanson Field on the Logan High School campus. West Salem 26, Tomah 0. We'll be back. You're watching the KQEG TV High School Game of the Week.
There's no place like La Crosse, Wisconsin, with the river and the bluffs.
Academic success, athletic success. All of our programs are doing really well right now.
Coming out here and playing my first conference game, I had a bunch of goosebumps, I had chills, I was excited, I was nervous. I felt every emotion that, you can feel.
College, when you think of what that experience is and the growth as a person and as a student and as an athlete, there's no place like UW La Crosse.
Discover the Deer Creek Dental difference.
It doesn't feel like going to the dentist.
They have all the comforts of home.
And the most advanced care.
Deer Creek Dental Clinic. Great smiles happen here. For all those things that make you smile, like family time, playtime, getting away from it all. Choose Deer Creek Dental Clinic, dedicated to patient comfort and advanced care. Deer Creek Dental. Great smiles happen here.
Welcome back, everyone. Carl Greenfield alongside Terry Erickson for the fourth quarter of Tomah and West Salem. 26-0 the score, although Tomah is threatening. Second and goal, 1.5-yard line for the Timberwolves, looking to get on the board.
Power eye set. Give it to Gomez. Let him take it in.
Gomez gets it, and he's very close. It is a touchdown.
Yeah, good blocking right on the right side, and the first touchdown of the night for Tomah.
Touchdown, Eric Gomez, and that breaks the goose egg for Tomah, and the Timberwolves are on the board, making the score 26-6. Tomah's in business. And they're going to go for two here. Different formation here. We got that full house backfield like the Green Bay Packers used to run. Rolling right, looks for a man, and he's stopped just short of the goal line. That was Mason Gerke trying to bring it in, but going to be short. 26-6, the score will remain as a result. So just underway in our fourth quarter. I want to thank everyone for joining us for tonight's game.
And staying with us through this long ordeal. 2 hours and 12 minutes as we are just into the fourth quarter. Don't leave us. Stay with us and watch the entire game.
Next week, once again, we will feature two more great games. West Salem, these Panthers will go to Holman. Should be a great matchup there.
Two running style teams. That will be a great game.
Very similarly built teams. Holman with the shocker last night, pulling off the upset of Central, 30-27 on the field goal as time expires.
Yeah, 0-2 versus 2-0. Look what happens.
That's right.
Of course,
it goes back to the old phrase, any given Sunday. Well, when it comes to high school ball, it's any given Friday.
That's right. Of course, Holman playing some tough competition, Chippewa Falls and Menominee, their first two games.
Yeah, that's a gauntlet to go through.
Well, and they had 9 players that didn't suit up in the first game, 8 in the second game, but they're full boat now. Their roster is full, so I expect to see a good season out of them. I picked them early on, Central, West Salem, Holman, to be in that top tier, and we'll see if that holds true. Although
and
Logan with a big win tonight.
Speaking of Central, they will be headed to the same home stadium, Roger Herring Stadium, that they share with Aquinas. Another squibby kick, fielded by number 32, Tegan Hansen. Grabs it, and what does he do? Falls straight onto his face.
Well,
protect the football.
Needless to say, the script now, the play selection now, keep it on the ground, eat the clock, get us out of here by 10 o'clock.
Ride Brendan Holt
exactly.
And Therick Roberts. I've been extremely impressed with Therick Roberts tonight.
Yeah, mix in Dalton Shams a little bit. Let him run the ball. Joe Hess, Joe Wopat.
This is the point of the game when you're West Salem. You've got to be crisp the whole way through to be a good quality team at the NBC. You want to be crisp in every moment of the game. Splits both sides.
And nowhere to go on the 1st and 10 play.
That didn't at all materialize from the snap.
Well, Pat lost about 4 yards on the play.
Geez, 3 Timberwolves right there. Couldn't even hardly got the snap, and that's it.
Loss of 5 by Wolfpack will bring up 2nd and 15. Yeah, I'm starting to see it here with you, too. West Salem's starting to get a little sloppy here as this one has gotten late.
Again, Justin Yane, the head coach and the offensive coordinator, sends a play in with Dalton Shams, and we got a timeout.
That's what Real Salem thought is here. Hey, I'm going to run this clock down. Let's regroup. Let's talk about this, and let's get back to business here.
I want to thank all of our sponsors for joining us on tonight's game. Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, Big Boar Barbecue, Tri-State Business Machines, Schumacher Kish Funeral Homes, Boyer's Budget Furniture, Hunter's Last Chance Bar and Grill, and UW La Crosse. Thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors for making these broadcasts possible for every night of the football season.
Yeah, we're blessed to have good sponsors. Our viewers should appreciate the fact that not many areas, not many regions, not many places in the state do they cover high school games like we do at KQEG.
That's right. When I was growing up, there was maybe one game in my entire high school career that was aired on TV, and that was in the Bay Area, the Fox Valley area, and it was on the ABC affiliate in Green Bay that showed one of our games. It was a big matchup.
Well, let's credit Rick Wilson, his staff, and Dave Magnum for making this possible.
Pitch goes to Therick Roberts. Gains 5 yards on the play.
Back to the original line of scrimmage. We haven't seen Holt carry the ball much in the second half. That's a little surprising.
And I think they're trying to protect maybe what is a little bit of a tender ankle. See, Brendan Holt is on the sidelines, standing with his helmet on, but no Brendan Holt in the huddle, so Therick Roberts is the tailback. Snap goes to Wopat, looking to pass. He's got his outlet off to the left, and Roberts, who's calling for the ball, but it's complete to Foreman.
Foreman, his check
or
down.
Excuse me, that was Caleb Young.
Yeah, his check down receiver that time, and not a first down, so West Salem will give it up.
4th and 3, and they're going to punt it away. 10 minutes left in the ball game.
It's been high a couple times on this. I'm telling you, if they put, they might be setting up a return here, but the snap has been high a bunch of times.
Nathan Gibble back to punt it away. Or excuse me, that's Roberts that kicked it away. Hernandez grabs it out of bounds and runs it out of bounds.
Run out of bounds by number 33. Doing a good job of hustling down the field, Colin DeMars.
24-yard line, Tomah takes over. 1st and 10, 9:43 to go. 26-6, West Salem in the lead in one of their final home games here at Swanson Field. They're home away from home. A low snap, pass to Hernandez, incomplete into double coverage. Good coverage there by Joe Wopat. He's not just a good quarterback, he's a good defensive back as well.
Yeah, now not starting on defense, but in the prevent personnel grouping.
Nickel package.
Right. Only one receiver, though, running a pattern. That's a little
dangerous.
Dangerous is right.
2nd and 10, 24-yard line. Gerke hands off to Gomez, who lowers his shoulder and gets popped. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play.
Yeah, popped hard, too, but did a good job of hanging onto the ball. Ran into Ethan Olson.
Three-yard gain on the play, brings up 3rd and 7. 28-yard line.
Timberwolves needing a first down to keep this drive alive.
Got to figure they'll be looking to bring it through the air. Gerke passes and is well short of Hernandez.
Good coverage on the outside by Dalton Shams, and they're going to have to give the ball up.
I agree with you. We said, about 6 minutes ago, they're working on their passing game. Yeah, they're not afraid to throw it.
And with time running against them, Tomah is going to line up to go for it here on 4th down on their own 28-yard line, but I guess they really don't have much of a choice.
I think you give it up here. I think you punt the ball.
Rolling left. Pass up for Hernandez, incomplete, and a turnover on downs now.
Not sure that's a wise decision, but nevertheless, the Timberwolves thinking they have nothing to lose, huh?
That's right. 8:52 to go. West Salem takes over after the turnover on downs. 1st and 10 from the 28.
And West Salem will take over on downs 1st and 10 at the Tomah 28 with 8:52 to go. Let's see if the Tomah defense can be up to the challenge like they have been all game here and get a stop. Trips right.
Handoff goes to Roberts. Roberts changes direction and cuts up and gets a gain of 4.
A little bit of a high snap, but handled by Wopat. Good block that time by number 64, Ryan Schlingen.
Got some cramping issues earlier, obviously, too, in this game. I think he's been in a couple series here.
2nd and 6, 25-yard line.
Foreman is in there, split left. Young slot right. 2nd and 7, Wopat out of the pistol. Right to fullback.
Handoff is faked, and Wopat takes it himself, runs across to the 19-yard line, gain of 6 on the play.
Good gain.
Gain of 5, perhaps.
Well, if Holt was in, he'd get the ball on this play, wouldn't he?
That's right. And they're giving Holt a breather on this possession. Roberts, the tailback, to Wopat's right. Handoff to Roberts goes. And he's got enough for a 1st down. Not much more.
But they'll move the chains.
Call it a gain of 3 and a 1st down.
Final 52-8, Onalaska over Aquinas.
Not much of a contest there. Aquinas had a big win over Pacelli last week.
Yeah, we covered that game. Austin Larson, by the way, the junior quarterback for the Hilltoppers, impressive in his debut as starting quarterback.
Wopat brings it up himself, gains a couple.
I think that was a designed quarterback
draw
is what I think.
Tomah should be a little closer to fully rostered. Matheson was doubtful tonight. That was kind of a day of decision, so should get him back next week. Not sure on the status of Arity or Burkhalter for next week, but a couple of guys have been out here the first 3 games.
6:30 left in our contest here. 2nd and 9, 16-yard line. Fakes a handoff, goes off to the left, got some room, spins, and Wopat's got himself a touchdown.
Yards after initial contact. And that spin move, what a teaching moment that was. Make your contact, spin, use a straight arm, something to get rid of a block, a tackle, and look what happens.
Good things happen when you are able to absorb contact and keep your feet churning.
Yeah, not a very big kid, Carl, but did a nice job of finding the end zone.
I'm going to try for 1 here. Just dribble it, kick here. Okay.
Nathan Gibble is going to attempt the PAT. Joe Wopat. Excuse me, that's Glassmaker. And he's got it.
Not by much, but not pretty, but a point for the Panthers.
So Glassmaker converts the PAT, and that gets us to a commercial break. We're going to take a quick break while they change sides. You're watching the KQEG TV High School Game of the Week.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
4 years in a row and counting. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer at Big Boar Barbecue. Once again, La Crosse County has voted us the best barbecue and best caterer in La Crosse County. Making great ribs and great barbecue has always been my passion, and it means a great deal to me that you love what we do. If you haven't tried our ribs, pulled pork, brisket, or smoked chicken, try it and you'll agree. Big Boar Barbecue, a delicious mouthful.
Yeah!
You know that Boyers is a small family business.
That doesn't mean it's not fully staffed. Here's our sales department.
Purchasing department.
Delivery and setup.
Warehouse crew.
Quality control.
Advertising.
We've got the best in sales, service, and selection. Come on down and check out Boyers Furniture.
Welcome back, everyone. 6:16 left, 33-6 now our score. West Salem comfortably in the lead.
Genevico and Hernandez set to return this game.
Roberts squibs it. It hits him, man, and it's fielded by West Salem. A huge turn of events there. A line drive where the returner basically had zero chance to react to it.
Yeah, exactly. Joe Hess on the recovery.
That's hardly fair to him. Can't really blame him.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was meant. I think he just miskicked it.
I think he was trying to kick it end over end. I think he got the fat part of the football and line drove it right into a Tomah player.
We're seeing some second unit players in now for the Panthers. Try to catch those numbers for you.
Wolpat remains in.
Trevor Troush in as a lineman.
45-yard line. West Salem retains the football. Roberts gets the handoff, and he's snuffed out in the backfield. Loss of a couple. First negative play rushing-wise for Roberts.
Number 72, Cole Carlaw. In now at a lineman's position. Austin Sevier. He's got 2 interceptions going into this season. Number 2 in on offense.
We've seen him quite a bit on defense, but first action on offense. Roberts takes the handoff, and another loss, and a penalty flag comes flying in. You know, I was just thinking to myself, Terry, that we hadn't had a penalty in a while. And I may have jinxed us, even just in my mind.
You did. Of course, a hold again on the Panthers.
Second, and the ball's actually 2 yards behind when the ball ended up near midfield. It'd be second and 27, or third and 15 would be your options here.
5:26 to go. See what the decision is here. Sometime before Saturday, we're going to find out what the call is.
It's pretty obvious. You want the penalty? Yes, of course. Let's go. March it off.
So it's going to be second and 100, nearly.
Third time in this, either late in this, I remember when that first was.
Second and 22 is the official down and distance.
Less than a half of real football here. West Salem's had more than 25 yards to go at some point. Clean that up.
Option run. Wolpat keeps it. Gains about 3 yards.
Good tackle by number 45, Christian Welch, a 5'10 sophomore, gets some playing time.
So assuming these scores hold by the end of the game, West Salem is going to move themselves to 3-0, and Tomah will fall to 1-2 in the first matchup of the MVC for either squad. Wolpat takes a snap, loses the handle briefly, and has nowhere to go, and he's tackled for a huge loss.
Well, the high snap just kind of caused a little bit of a breakdown in rhythm.
He just didn't get a clean catch on it, and as a result, we got a loss of 6, we'll call it.
Again, some good pressure by that Timberwolf defensive line, Carl.
And regardless of the end result of this game, that what will amount to a victory for West Salem, they've got a lot to clean up on the offensive line. Fielded at the 22-yard line by Jacob Powell, the 5'10 junior, and he's tackled immediately.
Boy, one of the bright spots certainly has been the special teams unit. And Dieter Antoni, the longtime Onalaska coach, now an assistant for the last several years with the Panthers, Hall of Famer Dieter Antoni in charge of the Panthers special teams. That has been a very bright spot.
First and 10, 22-yard line. Gerke surveys, hops himself under center, takes a snap, hands to, that's Nathan Spears, gets a 2-yard gain.
It's tough to run laterally against that Panther defense. They really string people out well. They got the speed on the outside. It's just difficult to get to the edge.
Second and 9, 3:22 left to go. Pitch goes to Spears again. Gets a block, gets a little edge, and he's got some running room. Nathan Spears with a big gain all the way to the 45-yard line. Big gain and a first down for Nathan Spears. Best running play of the night for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, Aaron Barr on the hit, and I just mentioned that the Timberwolves having a tough time getting to the edge. They proved me wrong on that one.
Yes, they did. Put some words in your mouth.
Exactly. Good speed, and that was an impressive run.
Best run of the night belongs to Nathan Spears for Tomah. And a new quarterback in. Fires it back. Hunter Newman makes the catch. The 5'7", 125-pound receiver. The quarterback was Evan Long.
Adam Gorski on the hit, almost decapitated him. Jeepers. Good thing he did everything he could to hang on to the ball.
So Hunter Newman makes his first varsity catch and gets a bit of pain to go with it. Spears takes the handoff, tries to stiff arm, gains a yard perhaps.
Ran through the tackle of number 72 that time, who slowed him down, Cole Carlaw, but good contact and cleaning him up, his teammate.
Well, Terry, as we're under 2 minutes in tonight's game, I know we weren't tasked to do so, but I think we should pick some players of the game for both teams.
Well, I think after this play, I'll share my thoughts on that.
Low snap and fallen upon.
I think for West Salem, Joe Wolpat has done a great job.
He's done a phenomenal job tonight.
I'm going to give him my player of the game on offense.
I like that. Rushing touchdown for him.
Yeah, John Glassmaker on defense for the Panthers, but they've played well as a unit defensively. And I think the defensive line, I'm going to collectively give player of the game to that defensive line, to the Timberwolves, who have caused a lot of disruption in the Panther offense.
It's an excellent way to put it. Long looking for a man, and it's going to be, almost intercepted, landed Thane Ludeking was open and just kind of stood there and waited for the ball rather than making a play on it. And I think it was Adam Gorski was in there to break it up. Almost had himself an interception.
Offensive player of the game for the Timberwolves, Damian Hernandez, has played a good game, and he was a key in talking to Justin Yane, him and Gerke. So he played well, and he gets player of the game honors.
4 catches, 72 yards for Hernandez. Good night for him. 43 seconds to go, and 1st and 10 for West Salem. Should be a couple of kneel downs. They're in victory formation. Wolpat takes the snap and takes a knee.
What's ahead for West Salem? You mentioned at Holman, it'll be a tough game. Then Aquinas, Logan, Sparta, Onalaska, and finish the year hosting Central. And Tomah needs to regroup as they have their rivalry game hosting Sparta next Friday.
They'll head to Holman after that, have a couple of home games against Onalaska and Aquinas, head to La Crosse Central, and then finish up back on this, or against the Logan Rangers, not this same field. That will be home against the Logan Rangers. So our final score here for tonight, 33 for West Salem and 6 for Tomah. And a dominant performance for the Panthers, although it was a little bit sloppy on their part.
A lot of penalties.
Offensive line and some penalties. They've got some things to work on in practice, especially in advance of that big matchup against Holman next week. We will be covering that game next week. Tomah or West Salem at Holman and Central and Aquinas. So a couple of good matchups next week, so be sure to tune in. For Terry Erickson, any final thoughts for tonight's game?
Well, I think there's some bright spots for Tomah, and I know Brad Pluger will certainly address that. Certainly concerns, injuries, lack of offense, lack of a running game. But defensively, I think there's hope, and I just hope that they can have a respectable season. They started hot last year, 2 big wins, and then lost 7 in a row. So let's hope that that's not duplicated this season.
All right, for Terry Erickson and for Ryan Scaife on our camera tonight, I'm Carl Greenfield. I want to thank you for watching the KQEG TV High School Game of the Week. Good night, everybody.
You've been watching the KQEG TV High School Game of the Week. Tonight's game featured the Tomah Timberwolves and the West Salem Panthers. The KQEG TV High School Game of the Week is made possible by our sponsors, like Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is their business on Southwest 2nd Avenue in Onalaska. Schumacher Kish Cremation and Funeral Services in La Crosse, La Crescent, and Onalaska. Boyer's Furniture, quality furniture at affordable prices on South Avenue, La Crosse. American Family Insurance and your agent in West Salem, Jim Quinn. Union State Bank of West Salem, where customers and community come first. University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. Surround yourself with distinction. Surround yourself with UWL. Hunter's Last Chance Bar and Grill on Leonard Street in historic downtown West Salem. Allied Cooperative in Tomah, West Salem, and Arcadia. Big Boar Barbecue. For the best barbecue, make it Big Boar Barbecue. Highway 16 West Salem and at George and Gillette Street. And Deer Creek Dental. Game of the Week. Tonight's game featured the Tomah Timberwolves and the West Salem Panthers. The KQEG TV High School Game of the Week is made possible by our sponsors, like Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort